almost kind of timed that time. What's another creative stream tonight? Apologize for my absence. Let's adjust this audio a little bit. In the last couple scheduled streams, at least, I did not anticipate how tired I would be this week. And then last week, I was out of town on a work trip, so I could not stream. So this is actually the first time I've streamed in a couple days. A couple weeks, I should say. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a creative stream tonight, because it's Friday, and that's what we do. One thing at the top, this is a new, unvetted source of audio for this. I'm trying some other stuff, so this is everything I'm playing tonight is going to be lifted from YouTube's audio library. So we'll play around with it, see what's what. I started a little late tonight because time got away from me, and I had to make food because I once again did not eat until way too late. So I made a sandwich, and I might be slamming that as we model here, but we'll see. So yeah, unlike what we've been doing before, creative stream tonight, we're going to be doing 3D modeling. Like I said, these streams are going to be just creative endeavors, not necessarily always CSP. Although I would like to keep at that and keep practicing my illustration. I just wanted a break tonight, so tonight we're going to be doing Blender, which is a 3D modeling software for anyone not in the know. It is a software that I used to use a lot more than I do now. I haven't done any like rigorous 3D modeling for a while. Like, I mean, we're at Blender 4.0 right now. I think when I realistically was doing a lot of modeling, it was like Blender 2.8. It's been a couple years. So yeah. Don't really have a plan for any of this. Kind of just going at it. I have a couple ideas of what I would like to do, and we can see where that goes from there. My goal, I would like to get better at 3D modeling and specifically 3D sculpting, because I have a 3D printer. I have a couple 3D printers. My goal would be to eventually be good enough that I can 3D model, rig, and then sculpt my own miniatures to print and like play D&D and tabletop games with weird nerdy stuff like that. But I need to practice, so that's kind of what we're doing tonight. We're just gonna practice the basics. Like I said, this is the first time that I've been in Blender for a while, so a lot of it might just be me looking over at this screen and pulling up references and tutorials on how to do something in Blender. So I remember a lot of it, but not like everything. So with that out of the way, we'll just go ahead and hop in and delete the dreaded starting cube. Kind of just go for it. I wanted to do, again, I was going to be way too ambitious, which I probably still will be. I wanted to do like dragon. I wanted to start off with a dragon. I don't think I wanted to start off with like a person to try to model or sculpt or anything like that. Again, this sounds very ambitious, but I have a little bit of a modeling background. It's not too bad. So let's just go ahead and add back in that cube, and we'll just loop cut that and delete those. We'll just go ahead and make it this a mirror. Now, something that, so I did like polygonal modeling. And then I've done modeling in like 3ds Max, which is also polygonal modeling, a lot of like hard surface modeling. So for like blocking everything out, I'm going to be pretty good, or I hope I'm going to be pretty good. That's at least what I have a little bit of experience in. It's once we get to the point where I want to sculpt and rig that I'm going to be a little wishy-washy, because that's something that I'm not as, which I'm not saying we're going to even get to that tonight. I'm also being too ambitious here. I should, you know what I had done. Let's go ahead and just add this mirror modifier before I forget. And axis clipping, yes. Okay, so we've got our cube now. What I should do is just get some references. This is what I was saying I was gonna do. So this might just be me browsing. Let's see. I thought I could add like a note. I'm also not very very smart about pure ref, but that's what that is right there. So okay, we will just look up dragon art. Hey, that's pretty cool. I'm just gonna drag some stuff in here to pure ref. Oh. Take it. Just for some references. I'm just Googling stuff. Just so we can have some references of what people are doing with dragons. Let's say dragon wing. I'm also probably not actually making a dragon. I'll probably make like more of a, ooh, I like this. This is a very good reference. Probably make more of a wyvern anyway. Oops. Yeah. And let's say that's another good one. Because I'm going to pretend like I know what I'm doing, and what people who know what they're doing when they model, they usually gather references first. So that's what we're doing. And I'm not that good of an artist to be able to make my own reference quite yet. Is this the same thing? No, not really. Just group all these wings together here. Do it by like body part. So let's say dragon head. I don't really know what kind of dragon I want to make anyway. Again, we might not get to like the point where sculpting is a big concern anyway. At least not tonight. But we'll see. That's a cool head. This is very simplistic, but I don't hate it. It's like something I might be able to draw. That's a good basic shape reference. Let's say dragon head styles. Let's see what comes up with that. That's okay. That's a little better. I know, like, again, there's plenty of references or plenty of examples that would be probably better than this, but you have, like, in D&D, you have all the different chromatic and I should probably arrange this better. And there's tools I can use to do that. But my music stopped playing. I guess I must have not had autoplay on or auto loop on. My bad. But in D&D, there is like all the different types of dragons have different like styles of head, and sometimes different styles of wings and tails and stuff like that. And that's what this kind of reminds me of. So that's kind of fun. That's plenty of head reference. I think I just want to get like tail reference. Oops, not that. Let's minimize that. You don't need to see my YouTube. Let's just say dragon tail. Ah, there's another good example. So, take it. So I'll just have like general body over here, and then like all the different components, if you will, over here, and that'll be enough of a canvas to get started. Again, we're gonna start small and kind of just block everything out one at a time while we work it. This is what people have Pinterest boards for. But Pinterest, I don't hate it. I just feel like every other post is an advertisement. And I hate that part of it. Okay, we'll do talons now. Or maybe I should say claw. That's a pretty good reference for the back feet, though. Let's start with this. And we'll say claw, that might be better. I don't know what'll be last, the claw, the tail, or the head, but it's definitely not the wings. Okay, let's say you two. We will go ahead and normalize size. There we go. Images, array. There we go. Now if I normalize, nope, didn't want to do that. Range optimal. No, I didn't want to do that either. Oh well. These are fine the way they're laid out. Oops. Okay. So now we just need to get from here, or from here, to here. Easy peasy, right? What I should do is start using some of these as my top reference. Don't hate this, but we will burn that bridge when we come to it. We are not quite there yet. Okay, so I will just go ahead and close that out, and you can, if anybody asks, I'll pull up the reference, but for now we're just gonna stick this over here. Or maybe what I can do is, let me add a new source here. PureRef, sure. Oh, I forgot to turn that on silent. Oh yeah, that was just a friend sharing. Let's see if I make that visible. Does it appear? It does not. Okay, PureRef just doesn't like to be used as a window capture. That's fine. That was a friend sharing a notification about about Ingenuity, the Mars chopper. I need to silence that. Where is WhatsApp? Let me go that should be fine. Okay, so we want to make a dragon. How do we make a dragon? Oh, but we'll find out together. Okay, so let's go with... I think what I want to do for sure is subdivide this that way too. That way when we expand it, it's going to be a little bit differently, and we will do by faces, I suppose. Oops, faces please. Nope, that's where vertices. Okay, so I'm thinking the body is going to be like, we're just going to start with the body part, which is just going to be basically a long cylinder. And then we will go from there. So let's go ahead and... scale this out a little bit. Scale that out a little bit. Go ahead and wireframe and go to point pulling. Yeah, it looks like the start of a dragon torso, kind of. We're being very simplistic here, but that's okay. Okay, solid. Alright. Let's just go ahead and do the whole thing. We'll scale in the Y. And then we will subdivide this up as we go, because that's what we're going to have to do. So let's do 5 loop cuts. That sounds good. And I always forget that 3 is faces. What is it O that's proportional editing? Yeah. Can we, oops. See, this is what I'm talking about, me figuring out my, oops. Figuring out my Blender again. First question is, how do I modify the proportional editing strength? So we will look that up. Blender modify. Or what is it called? Yeah, it is called proportional editing. I'm gonna skip this because that is not good. I did not like that music. It was fine, but I guess I can change. So that I classified them by like ambient and cinematic and stuff like that. Some of those don't need to be, or that was considered cinematic. I might go with ambient in the future. You can increase or decrease the radius of the proportional editing with the mouse wheel up, mouse wheel down, respectively. Are you sure? Is it like, do I have to scale and then? Oh yeah, I can. And we'll do like that. Alright, so that'll be like the chest cavity and then into the hips. I know this doesn't look like much now, and granted it is not, but we'll get there. So this would be like wing, front arm, and then back legs would be over there. So let's go ahead and scale those down a little bit. Yeah, start to make the part that leads into the neck. And is that all of them? That is not. I always go front view first for some reason. I can't help it. Actually, we just want, let's go wireframe mode and vertex mode. We just want these guys. Let's turn proportional editing off for this. And then go back into face mode. Let's extract that a little bit. We'll scale those up a little bit. Yeah, again, back to the front view when I shouldn't be. Bring that back down. Scale it in a little bit. Okay, and then how do I want to do it from here? This is a good start. Just to give you an idea of what we will be doing. Go back to solid. So this does not look great right now, obviously, but what we're going to do is we're going to shade it smooth for sure. So shade smooth. Let me shade auto smooth. No, we want shade smooth. as bad as this looks right now, it is part of a dragon's body, I promise. And then we're also going to add in a subdivision surface modifier. Can I move these around? Yes. Do I want? No, I want that after the mirror is applied. So that eventually, even though we are if you look at this, we have very simplistic geometry. Once we take this model a little bit more, it will, simplify. That way we're not doing all the work. I gotta change this. I can bring this out a little bit, make it look a little thicker. Oh, it's not so sketch. Okay, bottom. Let's control plus and scale the X a little bit more. I guess this can get scaled in the X too. Kind of looks like, I'm thinking like a big chest area, some like thin, I guess, abdomen area, and then wider hips as well. That's the ideal dragon shape. Okay, let's go top, and then scale it down a little bit. We don't need that much affected. Yeah, kind of like that. Alright, I gotta add a tail before this continues to look bad, so let me just do that real quick. Okay, so let's extrude. And we'll extrude out to here, and then we will subdivide this. Right. Yeah, I don't know how many times, but we'll figure it out. I want a lot of posability for the tail, so that'll have to work. Then we'll just grab these two. Oops. Always not in face mode. And proportional editing on. Scale, and we'll increase the influence of this so that it's ending at the end of the tail, and then we will just scale this down. Right. And we'll also scale specifically in the X. So yeah, that's a little better. I might come in and tweak some things. I think these guys still need to be, let me just, turn proportional editing off for this. That's a little too thick. That's a little better. I worry it's a little too wide now, but we can do to even that out. So we can just go like this and say select 1 and 2, and then, oops, can I just grab the loop cut? There's another way to do this that I don't remember. You can just like say connect these. And that did connect it, it's just not the connection that I wanted. Okay, well then we will go top view. What I was trying to do basically is select this middle line so I can scale the tail up a little bit. So we will go middle line and let me see, what is B? Box mode, there we go. I prefer the box over the lasso in this case. We only want to select these. In fact, we might not even want these guys. It's this. There we go, that's what I want. Not you. Oops. Not you, not you. Okay. So we will now scale in the Z direction a little bit. And let's get out of wireframe mode, see how that's starting to look. It's fine, it's not too bad. You know, now looking at it, I think I should maybe dispose of all these, except the end. Can I dissolve vertices? Yeah, that's what I wanted. Oh, but that didn't keep the cut. Okay, well that's fine. We'll just delete that. Delete vertices. We'll cap this. I think we can cap that. Yeah, let's go ahead and all right, next question. How do I cap it in Blender? F, that's what it was, okay. Yep. Okay, and then we need to cut. another case where I wish more tutorials weren't videos. So that I could just look at them while I'm streaming and not have to worry about streaming a video or anything like that. Okay, well, I know one way to do it, as messy as it is. Let's inset that. And scale it. Oops. Inset, please. Scale. Control M, right? What is it? Okay. Control Alt M. Merge. At center. And we will say X. There we go. And we just dissolve these two. Oops. Dissolve edges. Okay. That was way more complicated than it need to be just to get back where I was, but that's okay. So what we're going to do now, instead of going through all that, we're just going to draw out our tail for as long as we think it's going to be. And I think typically the tail is just about, if not longer than the body. So if this is our body that we're working from, we're going to keep this tail. And then I'm just going to scale this guy down. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Scale him specifically in the X a little bit as well. Where the heck is my mouse? Scale X, there we go. Okay, and we will also go ahead and, just because I don't like how this is ending in such a harsh tip over there, we're going to extrude that once. Scale that. And the X. We'll figure out the tail more later. That's ancillary. Okay. That's a decent start. Let's go ahead and go back to wireframe. We'll just do a little bit more point pulling here. Scale this out a little bit more. Again, that's a very snatched waist, but is it Control A, Shift A, Alt A? Alt A. I forget what deselects everything. That's what I was checking there. All right, so let's go ahead and grab you back a little bit, and then. I like these guys being so far out. Let's move those back. How's that looking rendered? It's fine. I also think this needs to come down. It's kind of like that front chest cavity area. This as well, probably. Bring that down a little bit significantly. Might need to subdivide that one more time. Can I do that without making an entire loop cut? Probably, but I should probably make a whole loop cut anyway. Okay. That's a little better now. But it can be more severe. So let's make it more severe. Actually, let's just grab the old-fashioned way. Say as I fail to grab the old-fashioned way. Okay. And I really made a challenge for myself saying, I want to make a dragon. Oh well. Shoot for the stars. Or shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. Okay, so I think given that, we should also probably increase this distance here. So let's go to top view here. Which ones do we want? We want probably up until the start of the tail. Yeah. Oh. Not those though. So let's GZ. Scale that up a little bit. And then let's go proportional, edit it. U. G. Let's scale that down a little bit. Just to see what we're talking about here. Does that look appropriate? I guess. Trying to make like a center ridge line, which I can do if I subdivide that again, but I don't know if I want to do that quite yet. Let's just grab these two, and we'll refine a lot of this as well when we get to the sculpting phase, if we get to the sculpting phase. Okay, so how does that look in object mode? I think I made this part a little too wide, so I'm going to flatten specifically this. I like this curve, but it needs to like cut off there. So how do we do that here? We grab these two, move it in the X a little bit. Actually, let's turn proportional editing off, then move it in the X a little bit. And we also grab these two while we're at it. Do the same thing. You can set that a little bit. I think I want this further out. And the reason for that is I think this, well, where would it be? If the front arms are here, from like extruded from this face, I think the front, would they be from there? A shoulder. They'd either be from here or here. Then I want the wings, I think, coming from this face. So we go to wireframe mode so I can actually see what I'm talking about. I need this and this to come. Oops. Come out this way a little bit. Okay, how does it look? That's fine. I also think realistically the wing should be like out, not up. I think if you like think of it as like a person T-posing, it's not like my arms go back on the joints. They normally sit like this. This would be the neutral. So how do I want to do that? I don't know how I want to do that. But we shall find out. Okay. He's looking a little slim there. I don't mind this shape up top, but if that's the case, I think I ended up bringing this chest cavity a little too low, so we'll go ahead and bring that up a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. You're like a little fish right now. Okay, go ahead and extrude those. And this will be the start of the neck. We're not gonna make like a super long neck. Does it need to be longer than that? If the head is here, that's fine, I think. Doesn't allow for a lot of posability, but that's okay. Extend that a little bit. How does that look? No, I liked it before. Okay. And we'll keep the neck in line with the back of the spine, at least for now. So let's extrude that. Let's move it out. Scale it up. And we'll refine this. Ooh, why did that scale so poorly? I do not like that. That's a little better. Hey, if we actually need the front view for once. Alright, let's... Trying to get this a little bit more understandable with its geometry before I extrude further. I think therefore this needs to come in a little bit. This comes down a little bit. Yeah, that's okay. And this center line can probably come down, specifically in the Z direction. Be a little bit more in line with those. You know what, let's scale Z0, make that flat. You know, now that I'm streaming, I should... Let me see, Blender... Oops. Sorry, now you're gonna watch me try to figure out these preferences. I thought there was a search. Is there a search? That's probably all for modeling. That's not what I want. Here we go, like I said, trying to figure out Blender along live on Twitch. That's okay. That's not it. Blender 4.0. Show keystrokes. Shift-Alt-C is what they're saying. I'm not seeing that. what's in the end panel, of course. End panel, which I never use. Let me see if it's an add-on that I don't have. It's possible. It's entirely possible it's an add-on I don't have. Screencast keys. Well, that's a Python file. I'm not downloading that. I'll figure that out in my own time. Okay, so head. Oops. Just grab these. Actually, oops, didn't need to do that. Just grab these. Oops, and go back to. Okay, now why is that weird? That is something. Okay, that's better. Okay. That is way too big for a... Well, I suppose it's not too bad. Let's scale this down. And add a loop cut. Close to the front here. And we can play around with this. We'll just start with the basics right now. I think I might come back to the head for at a later time. I think this is just good enough for now. It's just a placeholder. That's not too bad. Let's go back to I think that means these guys need to come in a bit. Again, we don't have to get super high fidelity with this face right now. We will come back to it at a later time. I think if that's the top of the head, then all of these need to come up a little bit. We don't want those. Make sure I don't have anything else I don't want. I probably don't want these either. Scale that down a little bit. Make it flatter, because that'll be like the bottom part of the jaw, which is a fairly flat surface. It's looking more like a dino head right now, but that's okay. We'll revisit it. I might just revisit it when we're done with everything else. Scale that down a little bit. It kind of looks like the start of a dragon head. And then I'll like add horns and stuff like that. Okay, how are we looking for everything else? What do I want to start on next? I think I want to start on the wings next. That does seem like the most fun. So let's go ahead and do that. Like I said, I think I want the wings to be coming from this. Yeah, from that face there. So let's go ahead and inset that. Scale it in the Y. Is there a way to cut? Knife tool. K. Okay. Well. Do I have to be in vertex mode? Yeah, I do. I thought so. Okay, so we do. The reason we do this is I would rather have a octagon, an octagonal part for the start of any limbs. So at the end we'll see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 edges to start with rather than 4. It just makes it a little cleaner, I think, at least for me starting out. So we'll just, okay, we're done with Shift K. Shift K, K. Okay, how do I turn the knife tool off? Oh, I have to enter, right, that's what it is. Okay, and we'll go ahead and scale those outward as well. Yeah, okay. And that's going to be the start kind of our shoulder piece. So now we'll just do boom, 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 boom. We'll scale that a little bit. Scale it in the Y a little bit down. I guess there's a normalize. I think there's a normalize. Can you normalize? Circularize? No, that's mesh weights. Circularize. I'm thinking of a feature that 3ds Max has. I don't think Blender has that unless it's a plugin. Okay, let's extrude that, rotate it on the X, nope, on the Y a little bit, and let's G, move it out. Just to start this, let's scale on the X to be 0, so it's completely flat. Let's move these a little bit up, down and over. That's fine. Scale that in a little bit. And let's also, while we're here, bevel. That's what I'm trying to think of. We need bevel tools eventually. Okay. That's good. Okay, and now I'm just gonna have PureRef pulled up on my other screen so I can look at the references to these here wings to decide what I want. I mean, I always envisioned it kind of like a bat wing. But we'll see. We'll see what I'm feeling. Alright, let's just do the same thing, extrude, and we'll worry about subdividing at a later time. I don't know how far to extrude this, so let's just move it up there. Looks about good for the first joint, right? Yeah, let's extrude. Guess I can move in a little bit. Rotate this way a little. Yeah. Okay, so that's joint 1. This is going to be joint 2. This is going to be where all the fingers come from. So extrude and move it out. Yeah, rotate that. Actually, let's do the same thing. Scale in the X to be 0, so we know that's totally flat there. And we'll do one more extrusion for that side. Rotate it again. Again, a Blender aficionado I am not, and so my workflow probably makes most real modelers cringe. I say that like I actually have a workflow. Okay, that is a very big wing, but we can. I mean, it's a realistic wing. You'd need a wing that's that big or bigger for flight when you're this big. Oh well, that's okay. Okay. Now we're looking. Oh, it's only 8:20. I've only been streaming for like an hour. We still got plenty of time. Okay. Might just get the blocking and the modeling done in tonight and then come back to this at a later date. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, a wing is usually like, sometimes they have like the short upper arm, longer forearm. So that would mean, I think, if I'm thinking correctly, let's go to 1 and then go wireframe mode just so we can select all these and just move them back in the X a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, it's not too bad. And it's not like it actually has to fly. Okay, so then I need to make the finger joints and then connect them with the webbing. That will be the fun part. Okay, and also let's just go ahead and tackle this end, because that might give me a better idea of what I want to do with the rest of the fingers. Let's go back to solid. What do I want to do here? Extrude this. And scale it. Why is this like that? I don't know. Trying to decide if I hate that or not. I suppose it's not too bad. For this claw-ish ending that we'll probably end up having here. Just trying to figure out how many detents I should have. Detents, that's not right. I suppose you could say detents in that context. Yeah. I suppose I don't hate that. As the end of a wingtip, I definitely don't hate that. Okay, so now we just got to figure out the proper distance. I think I want... If you got your one thumb coming out the front, that'll be like the claw. If it's like, I mean, if it's like a bat, you know, you have... Bats do have the 5 fingers. I think I just want like 3 though. So like, this would be 1, 2, 3. 3. Like that. Then the, yeah. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Well, yeah, let's just do 2 more for now and figure out what we're gonna do from there. So, same idea as before. I want to extrude in sets of, oh my god. Can I manipulate this, please? Zoom, dang it. What's zoom to extents? Is it focus? Zoom's all out of whack. Time to look up another Blender shortcut. Blender shortcut. Focus. Shortcut. Period. That's what it is. There we go. And at least this is in kind of the right spot. I know that didn't seem like I was doing much when you watch it on stream, but sometimes when you get your 3D viewport messed up, manipulation of the viewport becomes very, very hard, at least in my mind. Okay, can I do it with these 2? Or am I gonna need to subdivide it more? I might need to. Go, actually, can I select the loop cut? There we go, that's what it was. And can I move local? No. Normal? No. Gimbal? No. Cursor? Yeah, cursor would work. What? No. Oh man, forget what it is. I figured it would be local. We don't want it to be view in this case. It's not the normal either. I guess it would. Normal would be closest. That's okay. We'll just kind of space these out a little bit so we have some room to expand these as fingers. That means we need to draw this out. So we will scale in the Y. Oh, that's moving the Y. Scale in the Y, please. Scale that out a little bit. Move it down. Okay. That'll be like the hand joint, if you will. Okay, and this would be easier to do in wireframe, so let's go in wireframe. And go back to vertex mode, pull these back a little bit. So we said, let's go to 3. Let's go out of wireframe, unfortunately, just to grab 1, 2. Actually, we extrude them individually. So extrude. Yeah. And extrude. And then we want to bevel. This is where the bevel comes in, which I am a little unsure about. But that is okay. Let's say, grab these two, and is it B? No, is it Shift B? No, is it Control B? It is. Okay, and we're in wireframe, so you can't really tell what's actually going on here right now, but by beveling that, actually, let's undo that. Let's grab that and those two and bevel it. That way it doesn't look so weird. Well, not that one. Okay, so right now, if we go out of wireframe, you'll see it looks really weird, but as soon as we add a bevel, oops, Control B, as we add a bevel, you'll see it tightens up there like that, and that's because it has more geometry there to smooth. So, a little tip for you. Again, like I know what I'm talking about. Okay. And that doesn't really matter because we're gonna be filling some of these in anyway, but it is nice to just have a little bit of a clean part to begin with. And we will go back to face mode. Scale those in on the X for sure. Can I change the scale? When I scale it, can I scale normal? Yeah, I can. Oh. Maybe I shouldn't have scaled normal. Oh well. Okay. Question is, do I continue from here? Yeah, I do. And let's go ahead and bevel this interior one as well. Same thing that we did before. I just want to get these other two beveled as well. Oops, not that one. So let's bevel that. And by beveling that, that will actually allow us, or give us something, a good central geometry to create our thumb joint from in the future when we come back around to that. Although I was hoping it would provide a little bit more detail here in the center. Snap like that, not bad. Let me just go ahead and, because this is going to bother me otherwise, that and that. Scale in the X to be 0, and same thing over here, that and this, that and that. Scale in the X to be 0. Okay, now they should be fully up and down. Z. Yeah. We're figuring this out slowly but surely, kind of getting back into the workflow. The question that I will have is what I should do first. Should I rig or sculpt? But that's a question for down the line. I'm not worried about that. Okay, so that's that. That means this, and this is what I want. Nope. That. Bevel that. Okay. That way it's not so grabby, and we can worry about what we're doing for the skin in between at a later date. We are just gonna use these as our fingers, and once again we're gonna have to cut these. So okay, and we'll do that to that, and that to that, and enter. There we go. So we got more, that same geometry. Again, important because we're gonna try to keep consistent with these claw joints, I suppose. So grab you. Actually, let's, if I move this out, actually that was extruding it out. That's okay. Let's scale in the Y to be 0, and then while it's 0, I'm going to clean a little bit of this up. So go to vertex mode, do that, scale in the X to be 0, same thing here. And lastly, same thing here. Oops. You go back to select and move. So I'm not accidentally doing that. Okay, and let's go ahead and just grab all those guys and scale the Z a little bit. Not too much though, because we are going to go ahead and back to face mode and extrude them. And actually, before we do that, we're gonna go, is it Alt Control 1? I forgot where I am. Yeah, it's Control 1. Okay. And we're gonna do some point pulling here to kind of yeah, 4 verts. So scale on the X a little bit, scale on the Z a little bit, just to make that a little bit of a rounder thing. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing here at the start of the joint. So that should be 4, yeah. Scale on the Z a little bit, scale on the X. Actually, we probably don't want to scale in the X for those. We actually probably want this guy and this guy to scale in the X a little bit outward. How's that look? Which 2 did I select? Oh, I selected the right ones. It just looks weird. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's go back to solid mode. We said basically at the end we were going to have that, so let's grab our faces. What's a joke for you? Very bad one. Scale that up and extrude it. And we'll do top view. Scale it down and rotate it and move it and do the same thing one more time because we said we would have 2 detents. Scale it down, rotate it, move it. Okay, do those 2 look comparable? I know they're not quite the same size. Yeah, so let's change that a little bit. Let me just move these out some more. And then what we will do is we'll go ahead and add a loop cut that here, but bring it back so it draws it out a little bit. And then those even scale down a little bit more, so let's say grab those faces. Did I grab all of them? Yeah, I did. And scale down. And move it over. Okay, how's that looking? Solid, and that's not too bad. That reads well enough. I do think I want to move it out to be longer, because if the wing goes like whoop, you'd want it to be like right out here, and whoop to the other one, and then whoop, right? Oops, not that. My bad. Yeah, it looks like the closest and the furthest fingers usually are the longest. So let's do that. Wireframe. We'll just play around with this. If it's like over here, I'm gonna rotate that a little bit. Does that look solid? It looks fine. That means this one has to be like right out here. I do think I want to move it. I would like have the wing skin starting here and going out. I don't hate that. Don't hate that at all. Okay. So that's one solid wing done. I do think, given that this is a good weight, but this is not, we will go ahead and scale these down a little bit. I don't know if like every finger joint should have like the same weight to it or not. I don't know. It's a interesting quandary. But I do think what I should do here is, because they are finger bones technically, they should have subdivisions, and that might make the wing look a little bit more realistic as well. So let's get the third one extruded, and then we'll do 2 subdivisions, I suppose. Let me adjust these. Since I scaled that down, it did move those away a little bit, so... which is not the worst thing, but... yeah, because if it's like... I suppose if it's like a subdivision, then this doesn't need to be rotated as severely. We can do that as we subdivide. And just make this rotated to be a little prettier. Yeah, something like that. Okay, and let's go ahead and do what we were doing before. Get out of wireframe. And we will grab these faces, make them 0 on the Y so that we can come in here. No, solid's still fine. And make these 0 on the X. Same thing here. You know what? This is easier if I'm in edge mode. So 0 on the X and 0 on the X. Now I think this should be fine as well, but let's also make 0 on the Z and 0 on the Z, which doesn't much matter because now we're gonna be back. What was that? Tilde? Oh, nice, tilde. Forgot that shortcut. So we're gonna be back in here to move these verts. Oops. You and you. Sometimes it does control, or control does not work the way I think it does sometimes. Blender has like control and shift backwards in my head for selection helper keys at least. Okay, scale in the X. Scale that down a little bit. Scale in the Z. Scale that down a little bit. I think I scaled that X too much. Okay. Cool. Okay, now we just go back to our face mode. 1, 2, 3, 4. And go ahead and extrude that to about the same location as our other one. And we'll just keep doing what we were doing before. Extrude that a little bit more. Oops, actually before we extrude that, scale that down a little bit. Alright, so if we're mirroring that, which we should be, doesn't really change all that much until we go out to here. Then we scale that down significantly. Rotate it and move that back a little bit. We'll extrude it some more. Scale it down some more. And rotate it some more. Yeah. Yeah, but I do like... Oops. Do like this to be further out. And a little bit further. How's that looking? I think I should scale that in a little bit. That looks not as consistent, but okay. Yeah, that is the definition of okay, and I belong to the school of good enough, so. Okay, let's, before we do anything else, before we subdivide like we said we wanted to, let's get these into the positions we want them in. So let's grab these guys. Not scale. Move that. I think if the wing skin is going to come out from probably here, that would be good. And then dip again. So that's a good spot for that. I do think these guys need to come over. Yeah, like that, and then over, and then over. Right? Yeah, I think so. I think that looks good. Certainly a start, if nothing else. Okay, and with that, I think I want to rotate these guys out a little bit more. Okay. Now the question is, how many subdivisions do I want here? Maybe just one, or maybe just two. I think this guy needs to come over actually a little bit more. Yeah, especially if these are going to be subdivided. So let's Control R. Let's start with... I don't think one's going to cut it. Start with 2 subdivisions. And then move them around. How does that look in solid mode? Looks fine. Do the same thing. 2 subdivisions. Move them around. I think I do want to rotate them. No, not like that. Each individually. Ever so slightly. To be more in line with the direction that joint would be going in. Just probably do the same thing here. Yeah. And do the same thing here. 2 subdivisions. Oops. Oh no! Okay. Start over. 2 subdivisions. Move those out. This should probably rotate and come out a little bit as well. Okay, how are we looking? Looking pretty decent, I think. So I was saying the wing skin should come from here. So before I go further, I should actually save this thing. So I'm gonna move this dialogue over here just so y'all don't see all my files while I save this. So let's just go E. I just said what drive I'm putting on, not that you know what E is. Okay. Today is the 26th. We're saving this as today's date. Dragon. File. Okay. Always good to save. It's crazy I went this far without it, so. Oh, and then you see my my path up here anyway. Oh well. This is why I should get, like, I should actually put some time into, like, solidifying my overlays. Okay, so I'm trying to decide, should we proceed with I don't know if I should proceed with making the skin right now, or if I should just move on to other parts of the dragon. I think I'm going to try to make the skin flaps, and then see where we go from there. So we will start with this middle crook. In fact, now that I look at this, we should probably fix this joint here. Rotate that around a little bit. Should probably do it from top view so I'm not accidentally moving it in the Z direction. Let's move that over here and rotate that out a little bit. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, so I need to pick like one subdivision of the wing to start with as a reference. I think I'm going to pick this middle one here. And we have these, because we were consistent with our the creation of our wings here, we should have the same number of subsections in each one. And I think I'm only going to go up until this part, this little knuckle area, kind of like where the talon or the fingernail would start. So we'll see how that goes. So I think the best way I would know how to do it is by bridging them and then subdividing the bridges, I think. So I think actually what I'm first gonna do is grab a couple of these to bevel. So let's go to edge mode, and we want, if I grab this out, oh, that grabs the whole thing. You know what? Actually, that's not the worst thing. We can just come in here and select what we're not going to be beveling. So we do want to bevel all the way up to there. That's true. We want to bevel all the way up to there. That's true. And we're beveling this to get a like clean face that we can then delete to bridge from. So let's just deselect, go to wireframe, deselect you. We want all that beveled. We don't want the talon beveled, so deselect. Right, how many did I go back? To the point that it was starting to scale, so that one as well. Because it should be 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, let's double check this. So it'll be that center part. 1, 2, 3. Center part. 1. Oh, did I miss this? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 3, 4. Yeah, I missed that. Mistook that part there. So let's go ahead and, oh, it didn't go all the way around, so that's good. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Right. And just to the start. So the last long bit. Yep. Okay. Now take all those and go ahead and bevel that. Well, maybe. Bevel. Scale in the Z. Nope. Man. I guess it's probably looking here, at my currently selected one, so let's just... It's a good thing I saved before I started all this. I can always go back to, if I really, really screw this up, I can always go back to that save. So let's bevel. There we go. And we don't need to make it huge, so let's not. If we can avoid it. Okay. So that's a good starting point. Now we go and delete the faces we expect to. Why is it? There we go. 3D viewport's messing up again. And I should probably name this Dragon Buddy. Okay. Okie doke. And we'll go ahead and get started in here. See, solid. And we'll go ahead and actually hide this in the viewport, because I think that will make this a little bit easier when we go into here to grab the faces that we need. So what happens if I just do this? Nope. That's 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4. Okay. And we'll just go ahead and delete faces. Yep. And we want to bridge a couple at a time. So what we will do is we will go here and select actually I think I need to be in edge mode to bridge, so we'll grab this, this, and this. No. Shift select. And do the same thing over here. There's probably 1,000 ways to make this easier, but I don't know them. Okay. Let me check. Blender bridge. Bridge edge loops. That's what I thought. Is it just edge bridge loops? It is not. Oh yeah, it is bridge edge loops. Hey, it worked like I thought it would. I'm a Blender god. I figured it out. I've cracked the code. Okay, now the question is, can I continue to do that all the way around? Probably not, but, you know, we're going to try our luck. Let's go ahead and save where we're at here. And again, this is unvetted music, so I apologize for how weird this is. This is in my cinematic playlist, so we'll just skip that one. I guess it would be cinematic if you're in like a crazy weird horror stream or something like that. All right, let's do the same thing. Bridge edge loops. That didn't work. No. Okay, that's fine. We will do it a little bit at a time. We'll say you and you. Oh, did it bridge edge loops by creating a face there? Let me see. It did. Okay. That's not what we wanted it to do. I think what we want it to do, let me just undo. Okay, I think what we want it to do essentially is grab that just one at a time. Yeah, we want it to create faces like that. Is that normal flipped? No, that's fine. I thought it was. It's not. There's got to be a better way to do this. But for now, I don't know what it is, so hard way it is. Can I just... If I just... Just do that. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just do that. Okay. Now, we don't want just one face for this part. There we go. We want to be able to cut this, so we will go wireframe. Actually, not wireframe. We want to be in solid mode. And we want to be in knife mode and snap 2. Snap 2. And one more up here. U to U. Yeah. Now we go top view. Top view, please. Is it bottom view we want? It is bottom view we want. So now we do same thing. Okay. Snap to snap and snap to snap. There we go. That looks a little better. And now we can subdivide that to bring the to mess around with the skin a little bit when we get to the sculpting part. And because we had three different joints here, that we actually queued up or teed ourselves up pretty good for lining up the armature whenever we get to the rigging point. So that's a good start. Okay, so let's do the same thing, but don't be so stupid about it this time. Let's go ahead and go to our face modes, and we know that we can just make a face. No, our face modes, please. That one, and that one, and that one. I know there's a trick for like selecting in a sequence. I just never know what it is. Can I just control here? Yeah, okay. Pick shortest path, that's what it is. Well, that's what control does. It doesn't necessarily always mean that's right, because shortest path is not the best. Alright, so let's delete. No, you know what? I said we were going to be smarter about this. We're going to extrude and then scale. Yes. And then, with those faces, we're going to delete. And then, oops, delete faces. And then, we'll go and do some merging of these points. So we'll say... Can I do like a Shift M? Alt M. Man, I'm thinking of like, again in 3ds Max, you can basically say M and then point pull rather than select the vertices, then merge. Let me see. Blender. Steps to right. let's see. Merge. Target vertices. Weld. Target welding, that's what it's called. Enable snapping, it's that snap type vertex. No, that's... I don't like that. We'll just do it the hard way. Oops. Yeah. I'm not sure this is better. I mean, we are getting a center line, kind of. Yeah, we got it. It's gross, but we'll just say merge at center, merge at center, merge at center, and merge at center. And dissolve it. Oh, didn't want to do that. Why did it do that? Okay, well, we did it right the first time. Oh, is it because... Oh, because that line doesn't exist. Okay, well, I'm admitting defeat for this this purpose. I don't like the way the extrude works. So we will just do what we did before. We'll delete that vertex. Okay, so somehow these two vertices got lost. And instead, we're just going to do what we did before, which is we're going to grab some loop cuts here, that one, and that one. Oops. And we will make a face, and then we'll go ahead and grab that and make a face, and grab that and make a face. There we go. Okay, yeah, that's so much easier than what I was doing before. Okay, I thought I could turn it upside down. Oh well. Okay, same idea, cut, 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 cut. Okay, enter. That's looking good. What the heck? What view did it move me in there? We're still in. Ooh. Those are funky. What view is that? User orthographic. Weird. Oh, this is like Minecraft core. I say that like I know what I'm talking about. Okay, that's another good start. Okay, now the question becomes, I guess I have one that goes from here to here, and then we're going to subdivide it, and then another that goes from there to there. I think. Yeah. Yeah. So... Actually, that actually means I need to subdivide this a little bit more. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to subdivide this 3 times. Or I could just rely on this as the last one. Subdivide that twice. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Nah. Let's do all 4 here. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Okay, and did I already delete the faces? I did not. So let's go ahead and do that. And we said after the knuckle, so here, here. One, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Delete. Faces. And then back to edge mode. Grab that. And make a face. Cool. Then grab that loop. Make a face. Cool. And let's go ahead while we are here. Actually, it's got to be bottom orthographic. While we're here, we'll go ahead and subdivide those. Get the cut tool out. Snap. 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 God, I hope those are going to the right vertices. Let's move. There's a blender move loop along edge. That's what it is. G twice. Okay, that's what it is. So let's go ahead and we got that. We figured it out. Okay. So next up is going to be let's at the bottom. So we'll just select that edge loop and make a face. Then we will go top and K to cut. Snap. 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 And snap. Oh, this is like getting into mystery vibes. It's weird. It's definitely a departure from what it sounded like earlier. Okay, and now since we're looking at the solid, I'm gonna go out of object view. It looks kind of like a dragon's wing, although I am still gonna have skin connecting here to here, especially for stability. I might have to scale these wings up a little bit. Right now, these are just, you know, for fun, or just modeling. Again, my ideal would be to use these 3D models for printing. These wings might be a little flimsy, a little too thin, realistically. So let's scale that up a little bit. Yeah, those are looking good. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not get cocky, kid. And let's add an edge loop there. Actually, let's start here. Edge loop here. And edge loop here. And edge loop here. Now I know it added some more edge loops up here, which I'm not crazy about. So let's go ahead and dissolve some of those. Yeah, if we're keeping it consistent with that back one, that's what we should do. So Control X, yeah, that dissolves. And do the same thing here, except we want to keep those. Yep. So Control X, there we go. While I'm at it now that I know to move along edge, I'm going to space this out a little bit. I might end up with some things that aren't quite quads, but we're not going to be animating this. We're going to be printing it, and I don't think printers care that much. I could be wrong. I could be very, very wrong. And they might. So, let's see if I Control R. Can I add edge loops interior to here? Ooh. No, it doesn't look like it can. Can I bevel? I bet I can bevel those though. Oops. Yeah. The only reason I'm asking for bevel purposes is when I turn this back on. Yeah, if I bevel that a little bit. Not that much. Yeah, I might come back to that after I scale it up a little bit in the Z to bevel those edges to make that the divide between what is the bone essentially and what is the rest a little bit more defined. So let's just go ahead and grab this loop and let's turn our solid view back on and viewport levels, yeah. And let's scale that down. Actually, let's just, rather than using edge loops, let's just go to wireframe mode. Yeah, Let's go. Vertex mode. Zen. How's that looking? It could be a little bit more severe. Yeah, that looks good. And I think we don't need to move. In fact, probably a bit best if we therefore move these a little bit further out. Just to keep consistent. This consistent arc here, and this is where it deviates. I think I'm okay with that. So, why do I keep doing that? Maybe I should change my controls. I feel like I'm rotating when a lot of times when I mean to pan. I don't know what 3D software I was using that got that switched in my head. Okay, let's solid. How does that look? That's still fine. And I'm gonna move this back, but we are gonna basically be extruding this to make this part here, which is the part that's gonna connect. So it's not that big of a deal one way or another. How's that looking? It's looking more like a dragon than it ever has before. And it don't even got no legs. I might do another stream this weekend. Depends on how I'm feeling. Just for this is kind of a quiet song. I'm turning this up. This weekend or in the coming weeks, just to try to make up for what I didn't stream. But also because I'm enjoying this this 3D modeling. It's getting me back in the groove. It's been a while since I've done this, and we're obviously not finishing this tonight. I've been going for 2 hours already. I'll probably wrap up in the next half hour or so. I think I'm just gonna finish this wing, and then we'll call it good there. And then we can start tackling. Next time we'll start tackling the legs. And then see how far we get on that. So, okay, let me reduce that again just so I can have these. So, this should be easier because what we want to do is basically, let's go to face mode, face select, and we're going to extrude this. Basically, we don't have to like do the whole messy bits anymore. We're just gonna say these two faces are getting deleted, deleting faces, and then we're just gonna merge. It's a little easier when we're extruding and then can merge rather than what we were doing before, which is we weren't really extruding one to the other. Maybe that should have been the way I did it. Oh well. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I keep hitting Z when I mean to hit 1. Oops. U and U at last. U and U. Oops, I keep hitting control. At last. There we go. So we just that was. I'm not going to explain that. That should be obvious what we did. We merged after we created those. So I'm going to move this up here. This will be like whoop, and then come back out to here. So let's move it in even more to make it more severe, because I know once we turn the smoothing back on, it's not going to be the same. What is snap? Do I just say S to turn snapping on? S. No, that's scale. Shift S. No, that's not right. No, yeah, transform snapping, that's what I want. Shift tab. And we want to be snapping to vertex. And I'm going to bring up my move GUI here so I can say snap to this one. Yeah, that way they're perfectly in line. Slowly remembering. Not quick enough. Okay, what do we want to extrude? We want to extrude this guy, or do we want to extrude this guy? I think we want to extrude this guy, which means I need to, oops. Delete him, and we'll extrude him. And then we will go back into vertex mode and say you and you merge at last, and you merge at last. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Now, because I need to make it over here, I might need to do a couple more subdivisions. So I said it was going to end up connecting here, right? Yeah. So let's cut from there to there. And then also cut from there to there. Okay, and that means I need one more subdivision. Or I could just extrude that part. Yeah, I'll just extrude that part. We'll continue doing what we're doing. Oops. Delete face. And then, you know what, it might... No, we'll just extrude. And we'll do some more. This is, again, weird music. I need to vet this stuff. But I'm not going to listen to it all, so you just get a roll of the dice. Okay. So, vertex mode, you to you, merge at last. Wireframe. This one. Merge at last. Move those out a little bit. Actually, you know what? I should probably... move those in until I'm ready. before I connect the last bit, do I want to? Yes. If nothing else, because my stylistic choice. I like the idea of this coming back here to connect. So let's go ahead and do that. How do I want to do that, though? What is this? Oh, those aren't coplanar, that's why. That can be fixed. There we go. Okay, so you know, it would be easier if I just extrude 3 times. So let's, if it's going to here, we'll do 1. Turn snapping off. 1, 2, 3. Right, 1, 2, 3. Yep. So now we will just say, let's start with the bottom. U to U, merge at last, U to U to U, merge at last, and U to U, merge at last. Okay, and then the same thing on the top. U to U, merge at last, U to U, merge at last, and U to U, merge at last. Okay. And this is just doing a weird twist, so we will just fix that by grabbing these faces. Move them. More point pulling will be required, I'm sure. Go in and say scale of Z0. Pull that up. Scale of Z0. No, this does not look right now. That's okay. We are working through it. Now, realistically, should I have continued that loop cut? Yes. Am I going to? No. Maybe I will regret it. But oh well. Wait. What's this guy doing? Hanging out? Okay, I guess that is the last part of a quad. So okay, whatever. Just okay, and then I guess I can. See, I want this to be like very severe, this curve in here. And I'm worried with this it's not going to be. I guess what I can do is scaling the Y. Oops. Scaling the X, of course. I totally knew what I was talking about. Move this in here in the Y. Normalize some of these. Hopefully. Hopefully the smoothing will take care of some of the funkiness here. It seems like a pretty decent line. Okay. Now, for the moment of truth, what does it look like? I actually subdivide it a couple times. Not bad. I do think this is a little too geometric here. So what can we do to fix that? Let's go do some point pulling. Some of the geometric problems this way. Can I just... It's this guy that's giving me trouble. Shift tab and then move him in line with him. We'll go you and you. It's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where's the 10? Where am I getting 10 from? That's 2 verts there. 2 verts there. There's 2 verts there. There's 2 verts there. Did I just do my math wrong? I was looking at edges. It's 8 words. Duh. Okay, we're good. Okay. Just want to see how this looks if I scale this Y. Scale that down a little. Scale it up a little. Down a little. And then move it out a little. That's not too bad. I think I'm gonna have to move these guys back though, is what that means. So let's grab these 2 and these 2 and these guys. Where are those guys? It's that guy and not that guy, but also that guy, right? Let's go back to top. Let's go to solid view. We'll look at that as it. And let's turn snapping off. That's not too bad. I think these guys need to come in some more. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Like that. Okay. This is a solid start. This tearing is a little concerning. What's going on here? Oh, does it? Yeah, it has faces. Maybe I just need to bevel that. Definitely just need to bevel that. Okay, I think we're gonna hold off on the beveling for now. This is a really solid start. Just see what I can do here. Just deselect some of these. Just saying, throw it there. You know what though, I don't want to change the size of the arms, just the size of the wings. So let's go solid, and what we'll do is we'll just say, can I not select the other? Okay, well we'll try it the pseudo hard way. We'll come back to these wings, just to bulk them out a little bit. The only reason is, again, they're gonna look fine in like the 3D modeling software here. I'm concerned if I ever want to take this and 3D print it. So this is a solid start to our little dragon dude. I think next time I'm gonna work on, I guess I missed his little appendage here, but actually I don't know how much I want that, if I want that or not. I think next time I'm gonna work on the legs and the arms, because the face is gonna be a doozy, I think. And then we'll have to after that, I think, well, once we get all the base modeling done for all the features, including the tail, I'll have to look up what is best. If it's better to sculpt first and then rig, or rig first and then sculpt. I don't really know how that works. So yeah, this is coming along. Like I said, I might look into doing this as a another stream, maybe sometime this weekend, maybe early next week. Maybe my Tuesday stream will just be a another creative stream rather than a game stream. I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit of a dearth of games I want to play on stream right now. I mean, I have plenty. I have Potionomics, I have Talos Principle, I have Maquette, which we were playing earlier, but nothing has really gripped me in the same way that I had a lot of fun when I was playing Death's Door on stream. And I have a Baldur's Gate game that I still need to finish. That's just my single player. I might start another one just for stream, but I don't think I want to do that until I finish my first playthrough. So that's kind of what's holding me back on that. And then I have a bunch of games on Game Pass and Amazon Prime games that I've been playing through that have been a lot of fun. But yeah, that's where it stands now. That expect another creative stream. I might work on this some more off stream, but I like keeping some of these projects to stream just for fidelity. That's not the right word. Posterity. That's the right word. For posterity's sake. So I guess I will continue to stream these. We'll see how it goes. Next week I'll be able to stream, and I'll try to keep to my Tuesday and Friday schedule to be able to stream both days. But the week after, so the first full week of February, I am going to be unavailable to stream that Tuesday, so that would be the 6th, I believe. Be out of town again, so be out of town for work. So that's kind of where we're at here. I think we made a lot of good progress, and I might as well save this while I can. So yeah, this is how we ended up after 2.5 hour stream with a little dragon dude. Start of a little dragon dude. Definitely could have been faster if I didn't have to look so many things up. But again, I'm really rusty when it comes to 3D modeling in Blender. I used to 3D model a lot in college in Blender, but when I got my job, we used 3ds Max more. Not saying I'm any better at 3ds Max because it's been a couple years, but yeah, it's been a while. So this has been a fun opportunity, kind of dust off some of that, or brush off some of that dust for these fun 3D modeling softwares. So hope you enjoyed as well. As always, this will be posted as a VOD not long after. So yeah, happy modeling.